Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. So, it's been a while since I made a video, but I can assure you, those that are following the channel for the Zoom R24 recording, which is, the whole channel, I can assure you I've been working hard, and I'm hoping tomorrow to lay down the take. It's been really tough, but a great experience because I'm getting better at drumming. And I don't know, it's been enjoyable, even though it's taken me forever to get good enough to put the take down. I just don't want to waste a day of trying to make a take that when I'm not really executing, So anyway, I got a little special show and tell thing here today. I got the opportunity to take Mark's guitar. Last time we were together, he was having a little volume pot problem and like rolling off the guitar, and it would just like sort of stutter, like it wasn't fully turned off, like you had to extra turn it off. And so we thought maybe the pot was bad, or maybe it just needed a little reheat or something. So I was like, well, why don't I just go show it to my guys at Everything Musical? They'll get a kick out of it because they like to look at the relic guitars and stuff. They actually make guitars themselves and do similar processes, so they wanted to take a look at it. And when they got in there, all that was really needing to be done was just lift up the pickguard a little, shoot a little deoxit, make sure that thing is lubed up and moving back and forth, And Larry did that for us, Larry Rose. He's another really cool musician, well-known musician from back in the day, toured with everybody, played with everybody, has great stories. And then, of course, my guy up there, Cody. So and he's actually working on my Breadwinner. So I'm hoping that he can perform some kind of magic on that, just to get it playable enough so that I can, play it. But anyway, this is Mark's guitar, and I've known Mark since he was 17. He plays guitar with us in East Orange. He plays with us in Dynamite Death Chair, and he's like, luckily, I'm glad I can convince him to play with me. I've known him since he was 17, and he's like leaps and bounds beyond anything I've ever been as a musician. He and his brother both had genius level automatic skills as players. It's, quite astounding to watch. And I just feel lucky to have been around him and had his help, as a musician. If it wasn't for him, none of the stuff that happened to us in the 90s would have happened, because, he was such a great guitar player, and all kinds of producers and famous people were noticing him. One time, I remember we played a show, and I was, having a great night. It just felt great. Look out, and there's Andre 3000 there. And he was just really loving it. I could tell he was really getting off on the show and the energy of the night. And talked to him for like a couple hours after the show. It was a really amazing experience. Never saw him again. But we had this really amazing experience, during the show. He was like bonding with us from the crowd. And then I had bonded with him after the show. He bonded with Mark in the same way and took his phone number and everything. That's the kind of player he is. He's just like next level. The execution level is just so high. The technical skill level is high, but the writing and the soul is there too. It's just a complete package. He's an amazing musician. But anyway, this is his guitar, and I told him, hey, I'll just go check it out for you, and heck, if you don't mind, I'll show it to the channel, because I know people are interested in these relic guitars. Some people don't like them, some people love them. I wasn't sure, what I thought about them originally. When I first saw one, I was like, what? They beat up a guitar before they sell it? But now I'm really into it, mainly because they feel great, like when you get your hands on them. Let me just show you this one. You can see what I'm talking about. For starters, you get this super nice case. The case is really nice. I've been impressed with the case. Enjoyed carrying it around. It's feels great. I guess it's like a 50s case. This is a 59, Dream Machine type guitar. But this is a 59 Tilly. I think he bought it I don't know, it's already been a couple of years, maybe in 2021. I've got the whammy bar wiggly, so it won't get pressed down. You have to loosen it. Then I just put it back to stiff. Both of us decided we like the spring in there and the arm kind of, in the stiff upright position. Some guys like to just let it hang. But the case is really cool. It's got all the neat case candy. The strap is super nice, leather, thick. You get the custom shop logo. It's really neat. The Traveler. I always think these are neat. Just look at this kind of stuff. The Traveler. It's just cool stuff. Fender history type thing. I'm a nerd for that kind of thing. Gibson and Fender and Marshall and all that. Then we've got the ashtray cover. some extra springs. But this was really neat. It's like it's a 2022. This is newer than I thought. It's only a year old. And it's called a design guide. But what I thought was handy about it is it gives you all of their pickups. It tells you what's, all their pickups and what they do and your options, Telecaster, Stratocaster, but then it gives both Tele and Strat, all their guitars really, I think, the wiring. It's just so cool. And this one, I was telling him he had to get the little wire attached. We don't want to do anything to it because, it's a custom shop guitar, so if you don't have to do anything to it, you don't. But if I was telling him you should connect to get the tone pod to work on the bridge, but this one has the tone. It has the option already there. So I always like to be able to control the bridge with the tone. But and this bridge kind of sounds like a Tele bridge. It really bites. It's like the opposite of my Partscaster. My Partscaster, the neck pickup sounds like his bridge pickup, and the bridge pickup sounds like his neck pickup. But I have 22 frets, which may affect it. The wood comes out further and gets closer to the neck. Might be a difference. And I dropped these pickups down after measuring where his were. His are almost Fender spec, but I dropped these down a little bit because this amp is a EL84 driven amp, and it gets nasty fast. I got 4 speakers here, which helps. It cleans it up a lot, but it still gets too nasty for a Strat. For me, I like more articulation and not that like blown out, like just completely blown out single coil tone. I like a little more control. So I drop them down for this amp. For this amp, you can pick them back up. And for his amplifier, we try to get him up a little higher. He plays a super lead 100 watt Marshall head, and that thing's pretty clean. So and he doesn't use much pedal anymore. He's basically like here does a reverb. He does a little delay sometimes on solos, a little gain pedal. That's pretty much it. It's mainly all you're hearing is the Strat and the 100 watt. So we picked these pickups up, especially we were doing an AC/DC cover for fun, and we wanted it to sound more like an SG, and we didn't have one, and I didn't have my Les Paul there, or it was having problems. So we lifted this bridge pickup all the way up, and it was sounding pretty close. So it's a versatile. Strat's such a versatile guitar. Can sound like a Telecaster, can sound kind of like a Les Paul. Not the rhythm, but you can make the lead sound kind of like a Les Paul by rolling the volume off. But anyway, heck, let me just plug this in and show you what it sounds like, because it looks great. Let's see, it's as far as the specs go, it's a 2-piece Alder body. Really good weight too on the guitar. Like it's light. Like if you're looking, most people need light guitars these days, guys. I notice on forums, light is kind of in over heavy, and this is falls into that light category, but it doesn't feel dinky like maybe a Squier Affinity would. It has a complete feel to it, like a real guitar feel. I have been able to play a couple of vintage Strats, and we played a show with James Hall, and I got to play his guitar backstage, and it was a 62, I think, and this one feels like that one. So this is what they're going for. It like gives you that real vintage feel, and you could buy like 2 or 3 of these, 3 or 4 of these for the price of a real one. But it makes me realize that I would like to have one day, because it's a very different feeling. I have my Partscaster has a modern neck, and it's just very different. So I would like to, to me, this gives you the feel of what it would be like to have a vintage Strat, and it makes me want one even more. All right, so riffs on maple neck. 2-piece Alder body, vintage trim obviously with the 6 screws, the Fat 50s pickups, these sound really awesome. Vintage tuners, the usual stuff that you'd find on a 50, early 60s Stratocaster, but every year is different, so whatever your obsession is, that's what you can go for. Alright, so let's just hear, obviously I'm not going to be demoing this thing. I wish Mark was here to play it and show you what it can really do. I'll just play a couple tunes I've been working on in each pickup position so you can just see what it sounds like. Yeah, here we go. So this is the Marshall, fully cranked. Got the tone at noon, like half tone. I always keep it like dime pretty much, because that's just kind of where it lives. But you can always roll it off. I never rolled off Strats when I was a Les Paul humbucker guy, primarily. But these, I love rolling them off, man. It's like so versatile. You go completely clean to like super nasty just by messing around with the volume control. All right, so let's try the neck. We'll try the neck completely cranked with all the tones up. And just, I'm going to play a new song I'm working on that I'm recording, and I need to practice it, so I'll play that. All right, here we go. What I'm going for, the reason I lowered those pickups is to get that clean articulation. So you get grit if you dig in, but it doesn't sound blown up like right off the outset. All right, let me try the middle position with that kind of same riff. Everything cranked up once again. I'll show you what the tone controls do in a second. Kind of cool. It's like a little nastier, like maybe hotter than the neck. Wait, let me just check. Watch, here's the neck. Middle. No, it's a little lighter. It's a little lighter, but rounder. Interesting. Okay, now let's do bridge. And the bridge is like almost like Telecaster-ish, really nasty and cool. Here we go. Let's go to the neck and just see what like a lead type tone would sound like. I think that just sounds fantastic. All right, so let's roll the tone off just a tad and see if we can get a little bit of that kind of Les Paul kind of thick tone, like woman tone type deal. So, very versatile, very amazing. Plays like a dream. The action is like lowish for me, but I can see why somebody would put it there because, man, plays easy. It's got 10s on it. I would probably put 11s on it, and he's got 11s on his telly. We just have to re-intonate it if we put 11s on it, but I think that's where we're headed with this one. It just sounds like more, you know, more tone. Anyway, I think it's a fantastic guitar, and I feel very fortunate to have had my hands on it because I learned a lot from it. The brief time that I've been around it, I've learned a lot more about, actually, you know what? Let's real quick hear what it sounds like with the Deluxe, because that's the Fender way, This is like the Marshall thing, which is cool, but Fender on Fender is awesome. Hold on 1 second, let me just get this ready to go, and we'll see how it sounds with that one. Be right back. Even though it's a relic, I don't want anything to happen. Be right back. Okay, so now I have it plugged into the Deluxe. Yeah, I got it on. And I'll just play some of the same junk, just so you can hear the difference. The main difference is to be less loud, because it's just one speaker, and less nasty, because it's, different type of circuit with 6L6s. This has EL84s. Get really quick, sweet breakup with that tube. This one's rounder, larger. It's just a Fender tone. It sounds amazing. You could just be on your way with this guitar and this amp. Just carry these two to the club, and you're, ready to play, ready to make it awesome for everyone. It's a great combination, Let's try the middle, just with that little chord part, just to hear the difference. Yeah, so the neck is special for this particular type of part where I want it to stay really clean. Listen, it's like... Right, now watch the neck, it makes it more compressed. Anyway, it's a fantastic guitar, sounds terrific. Fender amps, Marshall amps, I love it. Alright, what I gotta do now is get back on my drums. Rest of the evening is drumming for me so that I can get this tune ready to record. Alright, Fender Custom Shop 59. If you're wondering about one of these guitars, whether they're great guitars or not, you can obviously tell that they are. Plays great, sounds great, looks great. Alright, next time.